That's 4 walk-off wins this year. And Taylor takes a slider outside for ball 1. Because the last time they had a walk-off opportunity was on Friday, and they could not do that in the 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, or 13th. And another sweeper outside is 2-0.
You know, Taylor doesn't bunt, but this would be the one time you'd think about it because they're giving it to him.
Rojas playing deep at third. 2-0 to Tyrone, who has 1 home run this season. And he rips one down the line. Foul. Just barely missed an extra base hit. Third base umpire James Hoy right on top of it. Boy, he hits the balls hard, doesn't he?
Yeah, the way the ball's jumping off his bat, much different than earlier in the season. Like a toreador with that chair, trying to avoid the ball with the ball boy.
Jeff McNeil on deck, then Luis Torrens in the last of the 9th. Opening game of the series between the Mets and White Sox. And Taylor chases the sweeper, and it's 2-2.
He's got a good one. Sweeper starts right down the middle, ends up down on the knees.
And Taylor gets this one in the air to left center field. Back in the gap goes Roberts. Back to the warning track. Slide, can't get it. Taylor around second. He's going to stop right there. Great effort by Luis Robert as he tried to make a sliding catch on the warning track, but Taylor winds up with 2 bases, and the Mets on the winning run in scoring position with nobody out.
Boy, there's a lot of good here in this play. One, Taylor getting to the sweeper here. Robert with the great attempt just hits off the wrist and heel of his glove. And then the third part of this, Taylor with so much speed could have tried for third base, but the smart and prudent play was to stop at second, which he did.
It was the right play. And now the White Sox are going to intentionally walk Jeff McNeil. They did this with Alonso in the 8th inning, and it paid off for them. Now they walk McNeil intentionally.
Well, the left fielder was never going to get to it. Robert, with his great athletic ability, did get there, but it would have been a tremendous play to come up with it. So Taylor keeps on hitting.
So now Luis Torrens started the last 2 days, went 2 for 7. Winning run at second. They're playing the corners in, thinking about a bunt with Lindor on deck. And he does square and bunts and misses, 0-1. And the way Louis has been swinging the bat, I'd be inclined to let him swing away.
And the way he attempted the bunt there, that would take the bunt off from me also. You know, the other part of it is that he's a double play candidate. So
remember that Vargas at first base is a relatively inexperienced first baseman. He does swing and he lines a base hit to left. Taylor is there to be held up there as Michael Taylor hits the cutoff man. Torrens keeps the line moving. Mets have the bases loaded and nobody out, and Francisco Lindor coming up.
Well, mistake here. I don't know what he was trying to do. Maybe he thought he was bunting, so a high fastball results in a pop-up. High fastball when a guy's swinging results in a line drive.
So now the White Sox will bring the infield in. They'll bring the outfield in. Fly ball could win it for New York. Lindor 1 for 4 today. And Francisco swings and flies one to right. That's deep. Tauchman goes back. He makes the catch, and Taylor can walk on in with the winning run, and the Mets win it 2-1. RBI this season for Francisco Lindor as he wastes no time delivering the sacrifice fly. As the Mets get a run in the 8th and a run in the 9th. Strong bullpen work, and they beat the White Sox 2-1.
Hard to beat the Mets at home as they get their 20th win. And in yesterday's game, the biggest play to me was Tyrone Taylor in the first inning. This one is double in the 9th. Put the Mets in position. A little sweeper in the middle of the plate. Lucky he didn't hit this for a grand slam. Ball stays in play. Taylor with great speed. This is a walk-off.
5 walk-off wins for the Mets this year, and Lindor has delivered the winner in 3 of the 5. Mets offense snoozed for the first 7 innings, but they get a couple of sac flies, one from Soto in the 8th, one from Lindor in the 9th, and with some terrific pitching out of the bullpen. Buto, Brazaban, Castillo, and Diaz throw hitless relief for the last 3 1/3, and the Mets win it 2-1, and we go downstairs to Steve.
All right, Gary, thanks so much. Francisco, now 13 come from behind wins for the Mets already this season. What is it about this team that no matter what's going on throughout the game, it seems like you find a way to win more often than not in the end?
No one's trying to be the hero. Everybody's trying to pass the baton. You have Howie in the 8th. He comes in, he gets a hit. Then Acuna comes in, goes first and third because Nemo gets him there. Then Soto comes in, gets a good pitch. We tie the game. And then you have Tyrone, running hard as soon as they hit the ball. Everybody thought it was a home run, but I see you guys. And then you have Torrens coming in. Come here.
Well played. Well played.
Yeah. We all got to get it. We all got to get it.
You mentioned Tyrone Taylor as we power through here. He has really contributed a ton to this team over the last couple of years, but especially lately, it seems like his bat is really coming along. What have you seen out of him and his at-bats as of late?
He's competing. He's giving everything he's got. He plays literally like it's his last game. It's incredible. He goes out there day in and day out. He gives everything he's got. Today was a great team win again. It's I come out and I win the game, but it wasn't me. You have Sugar coming in, Brazaban, Buto picking up. Clay Holmes pitching a great game, and then you have in the offense doing the thing. Howie did a fantastic job early in the game. Torrens comes in and finishes the game. So great team win.
No, Francisco, I'm going to let you go. I'll tell you this, that the guys in the booth were giving me a hard time about my shirt all game. So you ruined it. So congratulations.
There you go. We got him. We got to give him some love.
All right, Francisco. Thanks. Jared, back to you.
Not the shirt. No, not the shirt.
It finally looks all right.
Strong moves.
Steven Wilson came on in the 8th inning, gave up the intentional walk, then hit Marte to load the bases, but was able to get Beatty to fly out to end the threat. Sweeper misses down, and it's 2-0 the count here to Taylor. What does this feel like? Come in the game late, game tied against an explosive offense.
Particularly in a tie game, just every pitch is so critical. You fall behind 2-0. Just foul. Time now for the upcoming schedule presented by Toyota. We're back here in Flushing, Queens tomorrow and Wednesday. Then you and I are off to Baltimore for the weekend.
Get some crab cakes.
Right.
So we start this 6-game road trip with a win. But it was up to Steven Wilson to keep this game tied at 1 apiece. You were talking about just being a reliever, spent 18 years on the mound in the major leagues, the pressure, what this feels like.
Well, the one thing you have to do is just go pitch by pitch. Try not to get ahead of yourself. The next pitch you make is the most important one. Try not to fall in a pattern. That's a terrific pitch, 2-1. If you can play on hitters being aggressive in tight games, tie games, especially in the 8th and 9th inning, not saying that most, but a good majority want to try to be the hero. And if you can spin the ball and not be predictable, it's half the battle.
In the air to deep left center field. Robert Jr. chasing, and he can't make the sliding grab. Taylor will stop at second base. A leadoff double to start this bottom of the ninth.
Kind of perfectly placed high fly ball in a gap deep in left center field. You see a sweeper that's a little up in the zone. Wilson knew it was trouble when he let it go. Taylor has to go a long way to get it. Roberts tries to make a backhanded catch and slides into the wall. Fortunately for the White Sox, he decided to stop at second base. This is almost a terrific play by Lewis. One of the keys to extra base hits out of the box. You can see Taylor busting it out. Gets to first base. The play's right in front of him. He sees it. Makes a good decision. The last thing you want to do is make the first or third out of an inning at third base.
So the White Sox will intentionally walk McNeil. And will face the catcher, Luis Torrens. Shows bunt, but misses everything.
Yeah, not a very good attempt. That's one of the things in the game that's been kind of lost. We're so caught up at launch angle and getting off your A swing. You never know when you're going to be a spot like this with first and second. Just get it down. He kind of stabbed at it. You almost want to try to catch the ball with the bat instead of going out and trying to make a pass at it when you're bunting it.
Into left field, a base hit. Will hold the runner at third with nobody out. The bases are now loaded in the bottom of the ninth.
Yeah, now it gets difficult. You've got Lindor up with nobody out. Nowhere to put him either. You're going to have to eventually come into the strike zone. This is a pitch I think that Wilson would like to have back. Fastball up in the zone. Maybe banking on that. Maybe they were going to try to bunt again.
Infield will come in for the White Sox. Lindor high in the air to deep right field. Talkman going back. Runner tagging at third. Talkman throws home. But it's the Mets who are going to walk it off in the bottom of the ninth here on Memorial Day.
Yeah, tough game to lose for the White Sox. Hauser was so good through 6 innings. Iser did a terrific job getting out of a jam there in the 7th. Mets come up with a big sacrifice fly, a spot you don't want to be in. Bases loaded, nobody out, facing a guy like Lindor. Put yourself in a tough spot.
White Sox lose a heartbreaker in the opener of this 3-game set against the Mets. For Brooke Fletcher, Dan Plesac, I'm John Schriffen. Thanks for joining us here on CHSN. Final score, it's the White Sox getting walked off in the ninth, 2-1. White Sox postgame live presented by Yingling comes your way next. Chuck and Ozzy, guys, it's all yours.
Here we are, 1-1. Tyrone Taylor leads off. Steven Wilson stays on the mound. First pitch, breaking ball outside and high for ball 1. Steven Wilson, the 4th White Sox pitcher. The Mets have left the bases loaded each of the last 2 innings. Taylor has struck out twice and walked. 1-0. Wilson deals and missed downstairs with another sweeper. 2-0. McNeil on deck, and then Torrens. White Sox bullpen quiet. Ryan Stanek throwing in the Mets bullpen. 2-0. The pitch to Taylor. Swinging a liner towards third. Foul. Just foul. He just got out in front of that fastball. And had that been just a foot to the right, he'd probably be at second base right about now.
I'll tell you what, how many times have we seen Taylor late in the game kind of clutch? Just a lot of the hits that he has that are big late are usually fastballs that he turns on and pulls down that third base line. That time turned on it just a hair too quick.
So 2-1 the count. Rojas not all that close to the line. 2-1 the count. Wilson sets. Outfield straightaway. Here's the pitch to Taylor. Breaking ball swung on and missed. Sold out on the sweeper. Sweeper away, evens the count, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Now with 2 strikes, the center fielder Luis Robert Jr. moves several steps to his left towards the opposite field. 2-2, here's the pitch. Breaking ball hit high in the air to left center field, fairly deep. Roberts back, slides on the track, and he can't come up with it. It rolls on the warning track, picked up quickly by Taylor. And stopping at second is Tyrone Taylor as Michael A. Taylor picked up the ball after Robert failed to catch it. And it's a double for Tyrone, and the Mets have the winning run at second with nobody out.
Pretty amazing. You outlined exactly where Robert was standing toward right center field. He goes all the way to left center field. And the fact that he even gets a glove on this is amazing. Sliding feet first toward the wall, turned the glove over on kind of the backhand, and didn't make the catch. And Taylor thought about 3, but thought the better of it as the throw came in. 2 is enough.
All right, McNeil is going to be walked intentionally here to put runners at first and second, nobody out. This is starting to feel like Friday night's game, isn't it?
A little bit.
So, Luis Torrens will be the batter, and you would have to think, and even though the Mets have only sacrificed twice all year, you would have to think that with Lindor, Nimmo, and Soto, the next 3 hitters, that they would take a chance and bunt Torrens. Really, the bigger chance would be letting him swing because he grounded into a double play to kill one of those opportunities in extra innings on Friday night. The corners pinch. Torrens, a right-hand batter. He squares. The pitch bunted on and missed. 0-1. Just looking to give himself up here, but he kind of pushed at that and missed it. It's no balls and 1 strike.
Yeah, he hit that double play on Friday with the Dodgers brought in the center fielder as an extra infielder. There were 5 men on the infield.
Right here, both corners on the infield grass. 0-1 to Torrens, the pitch. Full swing, line drive, left field, base hit. Taylor will go to third and stop there as Michael A. Taylor plays it in. And on at first as McNeil advances to second is Luis Torrens. He didn't get the bunt down, but instead he singles to left field. The bases are loaded, nobody out in a 1-1 game in the bottom of the 9th. And Francisco Lindor will be the batter. And the White Sox are going to have to move the infield in and maybe the outfield a long ways up too.
Now, we talked about Friday's game, chance after chance after chance to win. Couldn't do it then. Here's your spot now.
Here's Lindor. The infield is in. The outfield shortens up. Wilson sets first pitch. Swinging a high fly ball to right field. That's going to win it. Tauchman back. He's at the edge of the track. He makes the one-hand catch. Tyrone Taylor tags at third. Comes down the line to score. Put it in the books. A long sacrifice fly by Francisco Lindor gets the job done. And the Mets have taken the opener of this 3-game series from the Chicago White Sox. They do a very muted celebration in foul territory just to the right of first base. It was excruciating, but they found a way and beat the Chicago White Sox in the opener of this 3-game series. In the 9th inning for New York, 1 run, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 men left. The final score, the New York Mets 2 and the Chicago White Sox 1. Back to talk about it in a moment on Odyssey Mets Radio, powered by the all-new Nissan Kicks.
Let's go Mets!
Here's the pitch. Sweepers off the outside corner. Stretch and the 1-0. Low. Having some fun with Wilson in the clubhouse earlier today. Talked about wanting to take BP, but understands pitchers won't be allowed to do it. Someone strains an oblique or something. He said maybe the final day of the year. Swinging a smash foul to left. Line shot was fouled by maybe less than a foot. Count now 2-1.
Yeah, he's that guy, and I asked him at that point when we were talking about him hitting, like, were you a two-way player when you were young? He goes, yeah, I used to play first base. Then they said, yeah, let's shut him down and focus on his pitching. I never even considered the fact that every player was not a two-way player back in the day.
Right.
But they did become specialized as just pitchers even in high school.
Ready for a 2-1. Swing and a miss. Good sweeper. Started as a strike, ended up off the plate.
Same pitch that he had taken for the first that was called a ball just off the outside corner, but now he's more in swing mode.
The 2-2 serve. Swinging a fly ball, pretty well hit out in the left center. Taylor and Robert are back there, and it's on the ground. And Taylor's got a double. Robert got a glove on it, but he just couldn't make the play. And the Mets have it set up now. Runner at second with nobody out.
Well, obviously, it's an all-out effort for Robert. Great effort. Basically an impossible catch. You either are fortunate it goes in your glove or you're sliding and backhanding all in one motion. And it just hit off of his glove, and then he slammed into the wall. I am shocked that Taylor's not on third base.
Yeah, it looked like he was thinking about trying to get to third. That ball hit the heel of the glove. He actually overslid it just a tad, but a great effort, as you mentioned.
There's just so much going on that because you have to slide so you don't face plant into the wall. You have to get down low because it's going to be ground high when you're getting to it. It's a lot going on, but again, I'm just kind of surprised that Taylor, after that deflection away from Robert, slowed down going around second and said, I'll settle for this.
They intentionally walked McNeil to get to Torrens. They just showed a replay. Taylor hustled right out of the box. He ran hard the whole way. He was watching the play, but he just didn't want to take a chance. So first and second, nobody out. Torrens bunts through strike one. He missed it.
Yeah, that description is exactly what it looked like. He got there. He got around second base and then just said no. And it's surprising because to me, he would have got there almost standing up.
Rojas in at third. Vargas on the grass at first. Torrens a base hit to left. Taylor will be held at third by Mike Sarbaugh, and the bases are loaded. Bases are loaded for the Mets, for Lindor, and I guess the only question now is, would Will Venable do a five-man infield, but he doesn't have an extra infielder.
No, we don't. There are no outfielders that the White Sox have out there presently that are platoon guys, utility guys, yeah.
Yeah, he might do it.
Just not there.
So the infield's in. Got to throw to the plate. Taylor's the winning run over there. The pitch to Lindor. Swinging a high fly ball is going to end the game. Deep right. Tauchman back. On the edge of the track, he makes a catch. Here comes Taylor, and the Mets win. The Mets walk off the White Sox. The final score in regulation, Mets 2, White Sox 1 on the Hard Rock Casino White Sox Network.
Perdido 19 ventajas en la entrada final del juego de pelota. Son los líderes en este departamento, el equipo de Chicago White Sox. Les cuesta cerrar los partidos y como dueño de casa, los Mets, por el empate, aquí están en una buena posición de ganar este juego.
Una bola 0 strike para Tyrone Taylor. Listo Wilson. Abierta, segunda mala. 2-0. Tyrone se ha ido de 2-0 esta tarde. Una base por bola. 1-1 el partido de pelota entre los Mets y Chicago White Sox. Tremendo trabajo, batazo de foul por la raya de tercera.
No por mucho, pelota picó a menos de una cuarta de la raya en zona foul. De picar ahí, volviendo un poquito de cálculo, hubiese levantado, pues era un doble seguro para Tyrone Taylor.
Regresa Taylor. Recuerden amigos, mañana continúa esta serie aquí en el Citi Field.
Mañana desde las 6:40 estaremos al aire 7:10 en nuestro primer picheo de esta serie. Así que usted, si no tiene su tiquecito, venga a vivir un ambiente fuera de serie.
Formidable.
Aquí se está gozando, pero de a mucho.
Sí, señor. Tyler McGill estará lanzando por los Mets de Nueva York mañana. Swing, abanica. Se la jorobó, vino con el sweeper y se ponen 2-2. Taylor bateando por los Mets de Nueva York ha sido muy oportuno. El veterano Wilson saca batazo peligroso, distante entre left y center. Allá, la bola va atrás, choca contra la pared, va para segunda y es doble el batazo para Tyrone Taylor.
Ok, podemos exigir más. Y digo esto porque el juego se juega a oportunidades. Al principio Taylor como que paró luego de llegar a primera, pensando que ya Roberts tenía dominio de la pelota. Cuando reacciona, la pelota cae al piso. Robert hizo un gran esfuerzo, pero fue difícil allá en la zona de seguridad, volviendo la pelota en la muñeca del guante del jardinero central. Así que Taylor llega hasta segunda. Esta es la que significa la victoria para los Mets. Es el doble número 7 para Tyrone Taylor.
Así que viene a batear Luis Torrens, le dan Jeff McNeil, le dan 4 malas a Jeff McNeil de manera intencional. Y viene Torrens, Mister Oportuno. Torrens viene al plato.
Bueno, aquí está. Wow, Robert Hill hace una tremenda jugada, deslizándose allá y la pelota golpeando en el guante. Adelante en tercera base. Este sí es un escenario donde no es descabellado poder a Torrens a sacrificarse. Es decir, este escenario sí, a mí me corresponde que un sacrificio funciona de buena manera aquí para los Mets.
Presenta el bate para tocar, lo intenta, no puede. Primer strike para Luis Torrens.
Esta emisión con derechos de autor es presentada por la autoridad de Mets. No puede ser reproducido o retransmitido de ninguna forma y las cuentas y descripciones de este juego no pueden ser diseminadas sin consentimiento expreso por escrito de New York Mets.
0 bola, 1 strike, la cuenta para Torrens. Viene el lanzamiento, batazo de hit hacia el jardín izquierdo. Están parando a Taylor en tercera, fue demasiado fuerte. Se llenan las bases de Mets. ¿Y qué tal si Taylor hubiese hecho un corning sin pensar si la cogían o no?
No se puede jugar el riesgo, no hay out. Y lo que pasa es que le dio tan fuerte Torrens que la pelota llegó en un segundo al guante del jardinero izquierdo del equipo de los Chicago White Sox, en la figura ahí de Josh Palacio. Pero esto es prácticamente un corredor y es el de tercera, que importa, no hay out.
No, claro, yo estoy hablando del primer batazo de Taylor,
no, con el que haber llegado a tercera.
Que se puso batazo grande, elevado por la parte derecha. Esto se va a acabar. La captura, se desprende el pisa y corre. Y se acabó. Se acabó. Se acabó. Victoria para los Mets de Nueva York. Fly del sacrificio de Lindor le da la victoria a los Mets de Nueva York con pizarra de 2-1. Ganaron los Mets en el béisbol de los Mets por Audacy Mets Radio en español.